Hello again everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're flying into the place where it all began for me really, I've got to say. First ever time I sat in any form of aeroplane to learn to fly myself, being a Piper PA28 Cherokee, and just past Warwick, heading north to Coventry, Echo Golf Bravo Echo, and just positioning to try and join a circuit for runway 23, left circuit at Coventry from memory. And from memory years ago, it's a 1,000 feet circuit roughly. In the Cessna Grand Caravan as always, but we're checking out some payware airport scenery that's being developed by MT Designs, and it's not yet released. It's around about 3 months away from a release of sorts, but the developer's been kind enough to send me a early access preview copy for me to fly into and share my thoughts, having flown here in real life years ago, in and out of Coventry, learning to fly to get my PPL. When I was doing that, of course, back in the day, it's going back quite a few years now, of course, but Thomsonfly was still active at the airport with 737s in and out, and we also had Wizz Air begin operations out of Coventry as well, which is always, it was quite exciting at the time. It was short-lived, sadly, especially with Birmingham Airport just down the road. It made it a little difficult for a business case, I guess. So the airlines very quickly withdrew, sadly, and they are probably never to be seen again. The terminal building that was in place when I was learning was at the south of the airport, which has now been covered and filled with warehouses. So very, very different to when I used to fly out of here. But my flying school's still there, Midland Air Training. But the airport itself has undergone quite a significant transformation in about 10-15 years since I flew. Yeah, 15 years since I flew out of there. But flying the left downwind runway 23 at the moment, and we're going to use the retail park that's here and this road, which I think is the A45 or A46, to help line us up with the runway for our final approach. So we're going to turn left base. Coventry's runway is 2,000 metres, so you can get an A320 in and out, longer in runway length than Skiathos, for example, so certainly available for options in relation to use of airliners. And it might get a little bumpy for this part of the circuit, just as I set up and configure, because I've sadly got the bug affecting the Airbus. I've got the bug that's affecting the Cessna at the moment, where when you apply flaps it shoots you hundreds of feet up in the air, so I'm fighting that at the moment, and the severely increased lift, which you can see is really a pain to deal with. So here's the road, takes us in. Can't remember if it's the A45 or A46, and then we've got big retail park, Curry's PC World, and a magic roundabout straight ahead of us, which is going to bring us up in line with the runway really. God, this flap issue is really bad. So I've asked the developer whether or not he's going to be building the retail park that's just on our right hand side now, Curry's PC World, and I think Dunelm and a few other places. It'd be quite nice for those of us with local knowledge to see some really familiar key pieces of the landscape around the airport actually built in as well. So, especially with the final approach, we're going to go and check out a few things. It all is very much still a work in progress, so bear that in mind. A lot of the things that you see here today in this video will likely have been polished and changed quite significantly by the time the release actually comes to the sim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to taxi off the runway and probably just park right down the end of the West Apron, along with a couple of the other flying schools. All of this is very much changed from when I used to learn to fly. We're coming off at taxiway Alpha all the way down at the bottom. Some of the things that I'm going to show you in this video are still yet to be signed off as well. So there are a couple of things that have been used in the sense of certain static models and things. The developer is still waiting for official access to be approved. So whether or not they will be in the final release is another matter entirely, but he's hoping to have all of the relevant signatures and approvals in place prior to release. So off we go, taxiway Alpha. And we could go and park over there. But I'm just going to pop here. So then, starting with the West Apron, we've got the Alma Flying Training School and Aeros with their relevant car parks and the buildings, along with some of the parking bays in place already, which is looking really good. And we've got the Cessna maintenance area in place as well, with a couple of statics and some fuel points as well, the Bowsers and tanks. We've got the West Atlantic hangars down on the Eastern Light Apron. And we've got the Air Atlantic cargo offices as well, complete with random pilots stood on the apron the other side of the fence. So moving on to what's known as the Dakota Apron, and we've got Airbase as well modelled in, and we can see here we have numerous incredible static aircraft from many eras, including the fantastic RAF Nimrod as well, which is here. So scattered around the apron itself then, we've got little gems like the Air Atlantic DC-6 diner as well, which is really cool. And now moving on to the parts of the airport that I'm most familiar with from time gone by. Heading over to the North Apron and the Air Park, which is where I first learnt how to fly. So what we're looking at the moment is the fire station, complete with the air ambulance base as well for the West Midlands Air Ambulance. We've got the Coventry control tower in place, and the Marconi radar in the background as well, which is a really nice added feature. Heading over to the air park then. This is exactly how I remember it from years ago. The apron that leads in, round in a little horseshoe, and a load of aircraft parked up in the middle as well, which is really nice to see. My old flying school was actually in this building, and it's as I remember, with the exception of the air park area here actually being a large hangar door. So then, if we head along Raleigh Road, which is the route I used to take years ago to get to my flying school, we've got the Coventry Aeroplane Club, and really exciting, we've got the Midland Air Museum as well, all added into the scenery, really bringing Coventry Airport to life, with the inclusion of really a cool Harrier jump jet off in the distance in front of us there, along with a stunning Vulcan bomber as well, which is always great to see in real life. So I used to turn left up the little driveway in front of us and head into the air park itself directly in front. Do note though that some of the models are still waiting for permission. Coming over to the air park on the landside area then, the very first door on the left is where it all began for me. Through there, used to cycle over to the flying school and go up for a couple of hours in the PA28s with Ron, the chief flying instructor. So it's really nice to see the finer details put in on the landside section of the airport as well. So that's it from me today. Little short video, blast from the past if you will, taking you guys back to Coventry Airport where it all began, where it all started for me. Checking out the very latest MT designs, payware, Coventry Airport. Remember, of course, this is all in very early access, a 3-month early preview of the work done so far. And in relation to price, there's nothing yet set. So be sure to check the description for today's video, and I'll put the links there for the MT Designs Facebook page, where you'll be able to get all the very latest updates and information direct from the developer, including price on release. If you've got any questions about the scenery, then you can find out their contact details and get in touch with them via that channel too. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the scenery so far and what you're looking forward to the most. And be sure to click that like and especially the subscribe button down below. Join me as a frequent flyer on the channel. Be sure to check out my live stream schedule coming up over the next few weeks. And if you want to get started on VATSIM, then check out my bespoke VATSIM tutorials playlist to help you all get started on the network. As always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you tuning in and saying hello in a live stream in the very near future.